Every time his mother came to visit, my husband got sick. Not the kind of sick you could fake, fevers, tremors, night sweats. He'd collapse in bed for days, pale and clammy, while she hovered in the kitchen making soup that smelled like guilt. Tonight, as I watched him retch into the sink again, I finally said it out loud. "Something's wrong with you, Daniel, and it isn't the flu." He looked at me then, really looked, and for a moment I saw fear. Not confusion, not pain, fear. That was the first honest thing he'd shown me in months. When we first met, I thought he was careful in the best way, thoughtful, deliberate, protective. The kind of man who looked both ways before crossing emotional streets. He said I made him feel safe, grounded. I believed him. His mother never did. She called me the distraction, like I was something that had taken her son off course. She smiled too tightly, hugged me too long, and told me how Daniel always needed someone to take care of him. I should have seen it then, the way she still owned him. But love makes you blind to the chains you wear willingly. The sickness started 2 years after we married, always after her visits, always right after a meal she'd prepared just for him. I kept a notebook, times, dates, symptoms. I told myself I was tracking for the doctor, but the truth is, I was tracking her. When I found the first will, I didn't understand it. It was locked in his desk, unsigned, typed in her meticulous font. Everything, the house, the savings, the investments, all to be transferred to her upon his death. She even left me a note. A wife shouldn't outlive her usefulness. I didn't show it to Daniel. I needed to know if he was complicit or just weak. So I waited. The next time she came over, I pretended not to notice her slip something into the broth. A clear liquid from a small brown vial. My pulse didn't even rise. I just smiled, served her wine, and watched her drink it too. I knew she always tasted her meals, a performance to prove she meant no harm. But this time, she'd made a mistake. I'd switched the glasses earlier. The vial she poured into Daniel's bowl had already been diluted in her own. Within an hour, she looked faint. Within 2, she was pale and trembling. Daniel was frantic. "Call an ambulance." I did, calmly, precisely. But when they arrived, she was gone. For a while, he was quiet. He grieved, or pretended to. Then, one night, he asked if I'd seen the new will. That's when I knew. He'd planned it too. Maybe not the poison, but the inheritance. She was supposed to die first, and he would have played the grieving son, inherited her estate, and left me with nothing. I said nothing that night, just watched him sip his whiskey. He always drank too much when he was nervous. What he didn't know was that I'd been in touch with his lawyer weeks before. I'd found the original will, the real one, that left everything to him only if he was still married to me. If we divorced, it reverted to charity. His mother never knew. So I waited again. When he filed for divorce 2 months later, citing irreconcilable differences, I smiled. The court date was set. He'd already moved out, thinking I was broken, that I'd cry and beg, that I'd be just another woman left behind. He never saw the counterclaim coming. The morning of the hearing, I arrived early. I handed the judge the real will, the financial records, and the toxicology report, the one showing trace amounts of arsenic in his blood over several months. The police had reopened his mother's case that week. They were looking closely at everyone with access to her food, especially him. He sat across from me, jaw tight, eyes cold. "You set me up." "No," I said softly. "I just stopped cleaning up after you." When the officers came in, he didn't even fight. He just looked at me like he couldn't believe I'd outplayed him. But I had. Every step, every poisoned spoonful, every legal clause. It's been 8 months now. The house is quiet. Sometimes I still catch the faint smell of that soup, bitter, metallic. Memory clings in strange places. People ask if I miss him. I don't. You can't miss what was never real. Justice doesn't always look like blood or tears. Sometimes it's paperwork, filed on the right day, a signature, a silence. I visit his mother's grave once a year, not out of respect, but as a reminder that monsters aren't born, they're made, and sometimes they marry each other. Final line. He thought he was the poison in my life. He forgot who was holding the spoon.